There's been, in my journeys with Tantra to America, and I've heard it come up when I was talking the other day, the stories of safety and boundaries in a session. And many people have spoken about it and given different viewpoints from it, and I just want to go into it a little more deeper so you can really see where we're coming from as Tantrikas with it. And a story that comes to mind for me is when I had my first threesome, was when I was 6 years old. And I had it with two other 6 years old, Michelle, who was this very lovely blonde, blue-eyed girl, and Craig, who turned out to be a very horny boy later on. and we were playing together, and they came, and I can't remember exactly what they said, but I remember exactly where I was. We were I was living in some flats, and we were by the pool under the stairs hanging out and doing our thing, and they asked me to come join them in this. They'd been discussing what they want to do, and they said, do you want to come play with us? You know, like children, they want everyone to come play, like a bit like Tantrikas, right? And so my first response was a very good, well, I don't know if it was a very good, but I was a Mormon little girl, and I went, oh, no, I can't. And they immediately were like, oh, okay, no problem. We'll just carry on, like, looking for snails. No big deal. You know, like, threesome snails, and this doesn't matter to us. And then they're so easy with me, and there's no forcing in their being. There was no, doesn't matter which way it went, that I immediately thought, oh, dear, maybe I'm really missing out on something. I'm just being silly. And I changed my mind, and I went to them, and I said, no, okay, let's go. And off we went, and Craig had decided he's going to give us blowjobs. He pulled out the straw, and he started to, blow our vaginas, and then we took a turn to blow his penis. And I kind of knew right then that this wasn't what a blowjob was. And then, of course, we got caught.
He was practicing safe sex.
And there you go. Well, this is the thing. They never at any point asked me if this feels safe for me, or if there's some, like, are you okay? Are you safe with this? Can I, it was like, do you want to play, or don't you want to play? We don't mind. You don't want to play? We don't play. It was like with no total neutral energy in their asking. There was no question of safety or boundaries or a container to hold the space or any of that. And as a 5 or 6 year old, I was able to say no, and I was able to say yes. And now I'm 38, and I still quite manage that fairly well in my life. So with this question of safety coming into a Tantra session, I really heard a lot about that in America. And it kind of threw me, because for me, a Tantra session is when you come to me, you're going to share a moment, whether it's a half an hour, 2 hours, or 4 hours with Shakti, of truth. That's what we're sharing in that time together. I'm going to, as much as my capacity is, and my presence is, I'm going to share truth with you. And that could mean you come and sit with me for 2 hours, fully clothed, and we just sit in silence together for 2 hours. And maybe it's the first time in your entire life you've actually sat with another human being and felt your own presence and felt their presence. And in that moment, you know the truth of something. And if you come to me and you say to me, but where's the safety? And this is a strange one for me, because I'm usually working with seekers. And from what I know of seekers aren't normally coming looking for safety. I don't normally have people going, where's the safety? They're normally looking for truth. The seekers are normally about looking for truth. But sure, so this question of safety has come up. And because I'm sitting in truth, if you come to me and you say you want safety in this session, then I have to agree to your mind that somewhere in this existence there's danger. And so there's danger out there, and you're going to come to me, and I'm going to give you safety. And I'm really not into lies anymore. I'm really, really into truth now. So I'm not willing to buy into your agreement that this existence is dangerous. And I get how people, and I get how I have found this existence very, very dangerous. And what I really found at the end of that question is that I really didn't trust myself. Because when you go into the moment and you're not trusting, and there's some wanting happening in your body, and most of the time you're told you're wanting your desire is somehow wrong, then how can you trust yourself? Anytime you want something, you've told it's wrong, or you're going to hurt somebody if you do what you want, or you're going to go to hell, or whatever you get told. So you stop trusting your very being. And then you take that not trusting your very being and you project it onto everybody else. And the whole world becomes dangerous. So if you come into me and you're asking for safety, I'm going to ask you to go into existence. And I'm going to ask you to go look there and see, where is it safe and where is it dangerous? Go find out. Where in existence are you safe? Where in the ocean can you create a container and be safe from the ocean? Go look and find out. I mean, if the ocean wants to take a Titanic down, it takes it down. I haven't seen a container that the ocean cannot destroy in a fickle moment of, a Titanic. And you come to me and you want safety from the ocean. Really? And when I felt this feeling of not being safe in existence, I heard a story once about a shamanic man in, I think it was Greenland. And he was the real deal. You know, he was born into this culture. He was a shaman. And he went into the desert of the ice flows, the desert of the ice, for 40 days and 40 nights. And you know, in these ice flows, you can step on a piece of ice and slip and instantly die a very cold and quick death. And he went in there alone. And he came out and he said, there's nothing under the stars and there's nothing under the sun to fear. And that really got me thinking. He can go alone into the ice wilderness and face this death and come back and say there's nothing to fear. Because I was afraid for a long time. And I still experience fear. Sometimes I can really even tremble with the fear. But I'm starting to call it something different. You know, this energy that arises in presence. And something big is going to happen. And big energy arises and one feels a lot of fear. And it's okay to tremble in fear. It's not to push the fear away. Like I say, if someone arrives at a session in fear and they're looking for safety, I'm going to ask them to go deeper into that. Or not even ask them, maybe find ways to encourage them to go deeper into that fear. Because I want them to find out what's true. And if you're coming to me saying this existence is dangerous, and my being, I am existence, we are existence, and I'm like, well, what's dangerous about it?